Hello there, this is Mike, the creator of this game, Slartboz, Phasmagic Tales, and the Selene Group. This game is under development. It's a new game. We're still fairly early on in the development. It is a real-time roguelike game, science fiction, post-apocalyptic setting, irreverent dark comedy style, set in Normerica in the year 2100 CE. It's basically Normerica is the kind of future slang term for what we today call North America. It should be pretty easy to guess, hopefully. The style, the theme, the mechanics, heavily influenced by, and I think, so I think fans of these things will be able to appreciate this. Fallout, Idiocracy, the film Idiocracy, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, the Stranger Things series, the old PC game XCOM, Dwarf Fortress is a big influence, and a bunch of other interesting games. But this is all going to be done as we call it a roguelike, but really this is a textual user interface game. Played in a terminal, mostly ASCII characters, although we can do Unicode as well. In the future, I might convert it to like a bitmap graphic engine, but I'm not really worried about that now. Right now, I'm focused on functionality, making sure it's fun, and by having a textual user interface, it makes it easier for me to move faster as a solo indie developer. And also, I can really just focus on making it fun, working on the functionality and the mechanics, and making that the best that I can make it. Again, indie developer, solo. I get to move as fast as I can. On the other hand, it's still just one person. If you'd like to support us, encourage further development, we have a thing on Patreon. We have a single tier at $1 a month. That would really help us out. Early on, it's not even about money. I mean, getting $1 a month, $5 a month is not that big of a deal. It's really more about the psychology of it, helping my morale to kind of keep going on this. But eventually, we want to get to the 1,000 true fans model, if you've ever heard of that. Anyways, I'm going to shut up, and we're going to jump forward. Oh, really quick. So we're focused on. Let me play some more music, and then I'll jump forward here. Woo! I love this song. I'm really focused on building out not only the core engine, but also the parts of the game that are the most exciting and fun for users. So I'm not necessarily focused on every part of the game, but I'm really focused on key parts of it, parts that are the most fun, the most exciting, and really give a taste of the vision here. Although we have a little bit of introductory stuff here. The year is 2100 CE. After a period of climate chaos, massive famine, and bloody resource wars, daily life for the vast majority of the human race who have survived is an apocalyptic nightmare. You are Abro, a teen male growing up in Normerica, a dangerous wasteland filled mostly with ruins and barbarians, if not the utterly insane, and the sad reminders of a once great nation, the mighty United States. American democracy had been attacked relentlessly, both from within and from without, and eventually collapsed. All you and your generation have left about it are stories. You're in the Laser Lizards. It's mostly just you and a group of friends. There was a vote, and it was decided the group would go on an expedition, goal being to find and bring back a big cybernetic battle tank believed lost in the wars. Do you agree to embark on the tank search expedition? I know I would. So we're going to jump forward. This isn't really the beginning of the game. We're actually jumping forward in time here. I'm going to go ahead and you hear a little beep there. I'm going to press capital T to pause time. This is the basic play interface of the game. Most of it occurs within this screen. There's some other subscreens and submodes, but this is the main one. The top left, you see capital white A. That lets you know who you are, the avatar's character. You're capital A. So if you go down and look on the map, you see that white capital A. That is you. That is the player character, the avatar. The A is the first letter in his name, Abro, but you could also think of it as avatar. Top left corner, you see Abro at 3979. 38 That's his y coordinate out of 79 possible y coordinates. The whole world is much bigger than this. This particular map just has 79 y size of 79 YYs, but the actual world is much bigger than that. And then the 200 divided by 344, that's his x coordinate within the width of this particular map. The next to that, the stuff in red, has to do with weapons targeting, shot planning. I'll get into that some other time. Next to that, Madness of Crowds. That's sort of the currently active plot on your plate. There's a whole bunch of different plots, challenges, quests. And that's just the one that's on the top of the plate now, and it's called the Madness of Crowds. Next to that, you see Pell. That's the name of the area that you're in now. Pell. It's the name of a town, like like Philadelphia or whatever, Albuquerque. Norm is short for America. That's the greater region that you're in, the continent of North America, essentially the future. Year 2100. Mare. That's March 13th. Okay, top left, W means wielded. Laser pistol. You have a laser pistol wielded. 75/75 charges, so 75 charges maximum to your laser pistol. You can shoot 75 times before you've got to recharge or reload. It's actually solar powered though, so it will slowly recharge over time. ComCube, that's a special device you have. Think of it like the futuristic version of an iPhone. Fern's Wov pin. This is like a little piece of jewelry you have that indicate that you're going steady with this other lady person. The Danger Shades. That's a really cool, powerful artifact. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Down the lower left-hand corner, you hear a howling wind. This is just telling you about things going on in your general environment. Stuff that you're seeing, observing that you may not have noticed, so I really want to call out the interest to that. Below that, you see github.com, mcromlech, Slartboz, Bob. That's the URL to our public GitHub repo. To the right of that, you see that letter T in the square brackets. You know how I'm changing that? That just shows you what you pressed recently, so you can kind of know if you think there's something weird going on, you don't know what you did, this lets you know what you pressed recently. There's some more cool things we can do with this. So in the center of the map, first, this blue thing, this long blue line, that's a river. The white squiggly things are like sort of the wave tops in the river. That yellowish rectangle is a bridge over the river. Over to the left, you see those white hash marks. Those are like walls, concrete walls. The purple @ symbols, those are people. The color, they actually have a purple uniform. Those are actually soldiers. And of course, they have a purple uniform because they look fabulous when they go into battle. Purple is like the coolest color you can go to battle with. That huge gray thing above me, that is a tank, and it's not just a normal tank, it's a gigantic tank. That is a Russian Goliath Mark VI cybernetic mean battle tank. This is what the Laser Lizard's neighbor originally set out to find. At this point in the game, they've actually found it, they've recovered it, they've assessed it, they've done repairs, they've got it working again, they've sort of converted it to their cause. And I've unpaused time. You'll notice as I walk around, that little red thing moves. That's his eye. He's watching me. Wherever I go, he watches me. And that's because, I'm his master. He's looking to see what his master wants him to do. And I am the master of this giant tank right now. I'm climbing up on top of him and walking across his hole, back on the ground again. He's watching what his master. He's looking for instructions for his master. This little flag here is a really miniature flag of the Soviet Union, the old USSR. The idea here is just a little bit of homage to things like Red Dawn and war games back in the 60s, 70s, whatever, the Cold War between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. And the idea is that somehow, for some reason, these really, a Soviet military force or something got into the United States, and I have to work out all the details here, a little fuzzy on it, but a huge, gigantic Russian tank, cybernetic, futuristic tanks got into the United States for some reason. I have to work out the details on that. And, but also because there's some really cool things you can do with accents, and I really like accents. But anyways, this is like homage to like the Cold War and all this stuff. This has nothing to do with Russia. This is about the Soviet Union and how it was viewed and portrayed from the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s up through the 80s. Over here, he's got a blinking light in the back of his end of his hull, just because it's cool to have blinking lights. That little beep, that's him, because beeping is cool. This little red carrot thing, this is actually the sort of the firing tip, the end of a barrel of like a little laser cannon. You can see he's got a whole bunch of them. This is kind of for anti-personnel stuff. This big thing here is a cannon. It's actually a triple cannon. It's a triple-barreled cannon, because the only thing better than a single-barreled main gun armament is 2. And the only thing better than 2 is 3. I'm considering going to 5 under the advice of the Gillette Razor Corporation, but haven't quite got there yet. Maybe in a future version. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Oh, quickly, I press Z and I'm going into an over